You want the lifestyle, but are you really building it? In today's video, this is going to be a business mindset and wellness life check-in. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany. I want to thank you so much for clicking on this video today, because in today's video, I want to go over what has been going on for me personally in my own business life, my personal life, as well as my wellness, and sharing about aligned strategy. This video today is going to give you clarity on the real work behind building the life that you say that you want. In this video, I'm going to cover who this video is actually going to be curated for and who it is specifically designed for. I'm also going to share with you my own recent pivot and recommitment, as well as how I personally approach life, wealth, and business strategy as a free surfer and entrepreneur currently living here in Bali, Indonesia, and some very powerful questions that you should be asking yourself right now. Settle in and let's get straight into the video. So, who is this video actually for? Why is it that you want to stop and listen to what I have to share with you this evening? You are likely clicking on my video because you settle into the very specific ideal avatar of my channel and or my high ticket affiliate marketing business. So you are likely a free surfer, you are a creative, you are maybe even a wellness and fitness enthusiast. You are probably around maybe late 20s to maybe in your late 40s, and you're probably based in Australia or North America, and whether that be United States or Canada. And you are likely in a stable job. You have actually an income. You are probably maybe in the traditional 9 to 5 way of working. However, you are seeking more time and more wealth and to really be able to express yourself in the creative space. You also have this desire that you want to build something real, something scalable, something profitable, and something impactful. And you also very much value self-expression, impact, travel, surfing, flow, wellness, wealth, vibe, and freedom of choice. So you are not afraid of effort. You understand that in order to succeed, it means stepping out of the box and doing likely what everyone else is not doing. And you are seeking a different vehicle or a different way of earning or a completely different trajectory of your life. So if this does sound like you, then go ahead and keep watching this video. Okay, one of the main reasons why I wanted to create this video this evening, I was doing some market research and I really wanted to discover, as I've gone through comments in my own content as well as through market research, some of the very common frustrations and difficulties and pains and struggles and problems that you may be facing if you are still watching my video right now. I want to share some of these with you, and some of these most common challenges, they may be that you feel time scarce, that you feel like you never have enough time to do the things that you actually love, and that you're spending too much time on doing the things that you don't love. If you are a free surfer, likely you want to be able to basically be surfing more, or again, just be spending your time focusing on your wellness, or spending more time with your friends, or just having more time to be in your own element of your passions and your interests rather than just hustling away at a standard traditional 9 to 5 corporate job. And you also desire to have more time to rest. So you definitely are feeling this time scarcity. And a lot of the comments that I have gotten through my content is that you are feeling some kind of financial pressure. And of course, in today's economy with inflation and the cost of living, which seems to exponentially be rising wherever you are in the world, whether it's an island you're living in or a big city, the cost of living seems to be going up, and it definitely doesn't seem to be going down. So you're feeling some financial pressure there with just your day-to-day expenses and your lifestyle, your work style. And maybe also you are in a way of earning an income. You have a job, a job that you are only able to earn just a base salary. There is no way to create more financial success in the position or in the job or in the way that you're earning an income now. Basically, you are feeling that you have a capped income and that you have a capped income. And maybe you are actually a freelancer. Before I actually stepped into entrepreneurship, I also was a freelancer. And that generally means that you are working contract to contract. The next thing that you may be feeling is this mental load. Example, maybe if you look on your computer screen right now, you have too many tabs open. Maybe you look in your calendar and you've overcommitted by saying yes, whether it's through your calendar or just in your day-to-day actions, that you are saying yes to absolutely everyone and everything, and that you actually have no clear strategy or organization throughout the flow of the activities in your lifestyle and in your work style. You also may be feeling a little isolated. I know that this doesn't necessarily mean that you are in the middle of the nowhere and you don't have any friends around you. Many people that I have spoken to and have had conversations with have been feeling that even though they may be in a very busy city or in social situations or in work situations even, that you're feeling isolated, that you aren't able to relate to others that may be on the same professional, financial life path that you may be on. And some of the desires, some of the wild, crazy ideas and plans and goals and intentions that I have found that is common through people that are in my specific audience or ideal customer avatar, or really the audience, you who I am speaking to, you desire time flexibility as well as having that income stability. You also desire to have and be able to afford and create the wealth that allows you and supports you and affords you to be able to travel the world, go on surf trip, maybe be able to afford certain things in your life, whether it's gym memberships or always buying organic food, or maybe even investing in a property, a new house or a new car or something maybe material like this. The other deep desire that I have noted down is that you have this craving and this yearning to be part of a movement, being part of something that is actually bigger than yourself. And this just doesn't involve making money or creating an income. It's really being part of a community or a group of people or in a realm where you're actually living and working with some greater purpose that is outside of your own self-serving intentions and goals that you initially have. You're also, and this ties into, again, being part of something that is bigger than yourself, being part of something that has some true, impactful, global, deep meaning and purpose, real impact and real alignment. If you are watching, again, this video right now and you're thinking like, wow, this is really hitting home. Like, I just clicked on this video and this definitely sounds like I am speaking to you. Then I encourage you to share with me in the comments, what is one of your most common challenges that you are experiencing today in your life, whatever time of the year that you're seeing this video, and what is one of your wild, beautiful goals that you have? So as a content creator and a business owner, I am constantly in my notes section in my phone or in my journal. I am always writing down ideas and inspiration for content that I would like to share. And whether it is through video form or a reel, or maybe I'm writing up some copy to turn into a video script or a blog post or an email, but I'm constantly always allowing myself to take what is going on in my own life and what is maybe even going on in my industry for business and be able to, or what is going on, like I said, maybe even in surfing, and be able to translate that into a piece of content for you so that you may positively be impacted and take away what you will with the insights and the learnings that I've had. And maybe this changes your life in a positive way. And the reason why I really wanted to create this video this evening, or what I have written my notes down to share is that since I stepped into entrepreneurship, I'm entering into my 5th year. I've had many, let's call them line in the sand moments. And you could say that these are turning points in my life. There are moments usually when I've hit rock bottom and I am like, okay, I need to figure it out. I'm somebody that actually I'm able to ride the highs and lows in my life like we all do. But it's a matter of when you are faced with challenges in your life that they're actually powerful learning opportunities. And if you're actually able to embrace the lessons in these learning opportunities and then be able to shift your actions and feelings and thoughts in a different way moving forward to ultimately create a different result, a different life in the future. That's ultimately what we'd like to move towards. So for me, I have to be completely honest with you that since I returned from Bali, if you've been following my channel, I returned to Bali probably just over a month ago. It's May 20th and I arrived actually April 3rd. I was very fortunate to spend the winter in Hawaii. I was there for less than 3 months and I spent time in Sydney before and after that trip. And then I have returned back to Bali. And it's been quite a struggle for me with certain areas of my life. If you're also following my Instagram, I've had certain issues and things happening in my life since I got back, whether that's to do with the house that I've been living in. I was dealing with a lot of mold here and I've just gone through 2.5 weeks of renovations, having workers in my house for 6 out of 7 days, more than 8 hours in my house. I've also been running around, if I've not been in my house, doing things for the villa. It's just been like the day-to-day running of my activities and my business and surfing. It's been a little bit off. I feel like April was not actually a bad month and May has been quite a dynamic month of like the flux, not even the flex, the flux of the constant up and down of my emotions and my schedule and just certain things. And I guess I have had to really call myself forward and call myself out that I'm so grateful for the flow and the results and the momentum that I created for myself with surfing and with business while I was away in Hawaii. And then I left and it's been quite disjointed for me. I'm still running my business, but I have definitely not been in the same flow that I was in. And I really wanted to address that. My last video was sharing about the clarity that I've created when it comes to my personal, professional, and financial goals. And I encouraged you to do that as well. And you could break that down into 1, 3, and 10 years. If you haven't watched that video, I will link it somewhere up here that you can go watch that, because I think that's really essential to do if you really want to strategically create a roadmap. How are you going to get to the future vision that you see yourself living and experiencing and being in? I have also been in a place of procrastination and I've been making my own excuses. And basically they say that it's actually at the end of the day, usually a high percentage of the time that you are the one that is in your own way. And I definitely feel that, as well as some of the craziness of the Bali life here. It's not even high season yet and it is so busy. It is so busy. The traffic and the way that people drive and the lineups and the cafes, like it's kind of crazy, wild mayhem here. It's definitely a very different culture and way of life. I was obviously in Australia and North America where it's very first world, even though Hawaii is one of the 50 states of the United States. It's still an island, but essentially it's still quite first world compared to being here in Southeast Asia. And I've definitely struggled. I was quite culture shocked actually coming back. And so I realized that I have been saying yes to everyone and everything, and I haven't been prioritizing the activities and my work style and the flow of my day so that I am still very much living and working in alignment with my values and with my vision. And so I realized that I need to now start saying no and saying yes rather to the things that are going to be moving my goals forwards. And that's for my own self, my own mindset, my own personal development, as well as for surfing, and then obviously for my professional and financial life, which obviously then includes as well the surfing and the personal development, which is my personal life. So I'm also sharing that I guess I'm at this turning point and this line in the sand moment where in 2 days I'm going to turn 45. And I've had many mixed emotions about this. It's the first birthday actually in a really long time that I have not been so excited about. I've been quite harsh and had not a lot of compassion for myself that I feel that turning 45 years old and not quite at the place where I'm at, where I thought that I would be at. I talk about this in my other videos about when you can really release the timeline of when you think that you should have achieved success in your romantic life, in your professional life, because it doesn't serve you when you have heavy negative or alternative emotions and thoughts and feelings to where you may be at in life and you're not where you actually wish to be. And if there is a heavy negative connotation there, that definitely doesn't serve you. And I've definitely been in that place. I'm definitely, what I can say and what you may be able to agree with if you also are a man or a woman in your 40s, that you are very grateful, because actually I do love the mindset that I am in my 40s. I'm very happy that I'm not still in my 20s and 30s, because I do love actually the emotional awareness and the maturity that I have now in my 40s. However, when it comes to where I think I should be positioned in life for financial life and professional life, and where I thought I would be in like career and in those realms, I'm not quite there. I'm very proud of myself that I'm not where I was a couple of years ago when it comes to certain, and even a year ago when it comes to certain friendships and intimate relationships that I've been in. Oh, thank God. Thank God I'm not there. I guess I can laugh about it, like I'm very good. I'm actually very good at laughing about myself that yes, I'm very grateful that I'm not where I was before. However, I've had some mixed emotions, feelings, and thoughts around where I am at today with my business and with just life in general. So I've had to reevaluate and reframe my mindset and my frequency around where I'm at, and also to audit myself and to be really honest with myself. Like, am I, since I have returned to Bali, regardless of how busy it is or regardless of whatever's been going on in my villa, am I really holding myself accountable and taking responsibility of moving my business forward and doing what I need to do to increase my wealth, increase my business revenue, increase and grow my team? Have I really been doing what I was doing before and what I saw results within before? No, I haven't. So I'm definitely calling myself out, and that's uncomfortable. And a lot of people, if you are watching, humans are so good at making excuses and ignoring and being in avoidance and, fluffing over. If somebody brings up in a conversation, they ask about something and people just like quickly turn it around and start sharing about something else. Humans are very clever at going around what they don't want to talk about because they're feeling that they may not be where they really wish that they were at. I think it's actually a good thing that I've had these kinds of conversations with other people, and there have been tears. Let me share with you. There have been tears that I have been experiencing, and I've been feeling more lonely. I know that there is the mental reframe and the reset, and then really ultimately a recalibration. So that was my third point that I wanted to share with you, that I have had to not only have these very beautiful, powerful conversations with other people, but as well as myself, that really, am I embodying my future self today? And the answer to that question is no, I haven't been. And it's like, right, I really need to shift that, because I'm generally somebody that in my life, I do swing from my highs and my lows. And I've been very good at in the past of being able to, I notice when I start to swing a little bit low, that I'm able to recognize that and shift that. And that's exactly what's happened. I mean, it's not like I've created success in my business that was only a few months ago and now it's been like years, right? Like, I'm talking that I got back from Hawaii. I left March 18th. So it's been 2 months. So it's only been 2 months where I've like had to adjust. I've been very much in this transition phase, and maybe you can also relate to as well. Literally, I have within a matter of, maybe it was only 2 or 3 weeks, I changed time zones twice. I went from United States to Australia back to Bali, and my clock was off. My digestion has also been off. So it's only normal and valid, and I need to give myself more compassion. And if you're in a similar situation as well, even if you haven't traveled, or even if there's not a tangible thing that you may be transitioning between. It just might be your own fluctuation of your own frequency and your thoughts and your feelings of where you're at. Allow yourself to have more compassion. And actually, as I say that, I think that's actually a beautiful point to add on, that it's completely valid and normal and human to swing between your highs and lows and have different thoughts and feelings. However, it's really a beautiful and powerful way to create awareness around that, and then to be able to think, okay, how am I going to shift myself from that into moving towards, again, stepping closer and closer, moment by moment, and thought and feeling and actions towards actually embodying, creating, living, and thus experiencing having the life that you desire, the income that you desire, the wealth that you desire, the relationships that you desire, etc. And it comes down to, that is really the law of attraction. It's about, and I talk about this a lot in my channel, it's about be, do, have, right? That in order to have what you desire, are you actually right now, even if you're not there, are you being in that frequency and doing actions of the person in the future that already has what you desire? And because the time and life and consciousness, it doesn't differentiate between time. So if you can actually, and I do hope that I am explaining this correctly, that if you are actually being in that embodiment and that frequency and that feeling now, and doing the actions of somebody that is already, maybe you want to be a 7, 8, 9 figure income earner and have a 7, 8, 9 figure business and global team, and you're married and like all the beautiful things, then it's a matter of like stepping into that now. And that's being the awareness and the practice and the recalibration. Moving on to the next step is that truly that has been my decision to, again, commit, recommit, recalibrate, and go all in again, with being so focused and disciplined and strategic, and to do it with some fun and with some finesse and with some style and with some vibe, is being able to be really structured and strategic and intentional in creating my lifestyle through my work style. Like I just shared before, what is involved and what is required, and what I'm going to share with you, and you can also comment with me in the comments, is that strategy, discipline, and priorities. These are like 3 main things that really need to be addressed and clear. Is that, do you actually have a strategy that's going to create for you the income that you truly desire, so that you'll be able to afford the lifestyle that you truly desire? And are you able to then, not only maybe you write it down and then you have the strategy, but you're actually disciplined in actioning forward daily, not like, oh, I'll just like do a few things a week. But if you're actually in the forward momentum, in action forwarding the tasks, the actions, the things that you need to do to move you closer towards your goals. And whether that's in your professional life, financial life, or even maybe your health and wellness, or maybe in the other areas of your life that you desire to have success with. And then it was beautiful. I was actually watching I was on Instagram this morning, and I clicked through one of Grant Cardone's Instagram slides, not a reel. What do you call those when you have multiple slides? He basically, there was a bunch of them, and he basically, and I can share actually a screenshot of it, but he said basically you can have it all, but at the beginning you need to focus on just like one of the things first. Let me bring that up actually. In here, I saved it. I probably didn't explain that properly. Wait, I thought it was really, really powerful what he had shared. 8 visuals, and I can actually leave the link to the Instagram. What do you call these? Slides? I forget what the word is. I'm blanking on that. But basically, it's curiosity turns uncertainty into opportunity. 8 visuals that will flip a switch in your brain. I'm going to share these with you. The one that I thought was really cool. Okay, so I'll just share this with you. I don't even know if that's focusing. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are like 7 rectangular pillars at the top, and they're all in white. And it says, you can have it all. And then the next is the 7 rectangular pillars, but 8 of them are empty, and only one is like all white, and it's all whited out. And it says, you just can't have it all at once. So how I interpreted that, and maybe you'll have a different interpretation. And again, I'm so happy if you're able to share with me feedback once I like link the reel at the bottom of this video, is that You actually can have it all. And there are people that I follow through social media who have thriving businesses, who have happy marriages and families, and they have great health and they have amazing income, living incredible lives. I'm seeing this. And of course, at the end of the day, nobody's life is perfect. Of course not. But you can achieve greatness in your life. But maybe at the beginning, while you may be in your building phase, at a certain time, in that time, you just can't maybe have it all at once. And I definitely agree with this, because when I was in Hawaii, I had success with surfing and with my business. What I didn't have is I wasn't dating. I didn't have a boyfriend, and I didn't really have much of a social life either. I had some friends there. And yes, to be honest, I did go on a few dates, but that'll be another story for another time. But what I did see is that I had this amazing success and results with my business, as well as like with surfing. But in the other areas of my life, and I was feeling really great in my mental health and in my fitness and my physical health and wellness. But my friendships, and not that like I had any problems with my friendships there, I didn't even really have any, problems with men. But those areas of my life were just, they weren't so vibing at the time. When I saw that this morning, I was like, oh, that is so relatable. Let's just move on to, it's so important to prioritize then that, okay, if you have certain desires when it comes to your professional life, your financial life, for friendships that you have, for relationships, marriages, for your health and wellness, that it's important to, in the day, to not only be clear about your structure and your strategy of what you're going to do and taking the action for that and being disciplined, but it's also like prioritizing, because in 24 hours, we cannot, even in 7 days, even in like a week, we just can't do everything all at once. So it's really a matter of prioritizing. And I think that's evidently very clear. I don't think I need to go into explaining to you like what prioritizing means. In order to create that success and be thriving and abundant and be absolutely high vibrational, for most of the time, of course, we're humans, we go up and down, but remaining more at the frequency of higher rather than lower. Of course, without the light, you cannot have the shade, and vice versa. It's a matter of what I've decided to commit to myself. It's about showing up differently. And I shared this, I often share this, that in order to create a different result, you cannot keep doing the same thing. In order for your life, your income, your lifestyle, for your world, your realm to be different, you have to make different decisions and choices and show up in a different way. Otherwise, the quote, if you continue doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and you're expecting a different result and it never changes, that is the definition of insanity. I'm sure that we can all relate to that. We've all probably been in situations in our life where we thought, oh, it'll change, they'll change, this will change. I'll start the diet Monday, or yes, I'll do this, or yes, I would choose a different type of man to date. And then you keep having the same results. That's the definition of insanity. It's so key and essential then to choose to stop outsourcing your power and to remove yourself from whatever is distracting you and taking you out of alignment and lowering your vibration, and just allowing you to be like cognitively dissonant. And even if you're feeling like in a lack and it makes you question yourself, allow yourself to retract and just come back into a bubble. It's allowing yourself to fuel yourself with more positive and empowered frequency and energy and thoughts and feelings, rather than just always giving your precious energy, time away to others and other things. I mean, I think that's just such a great way to recalibrate. Even if you think you need to recharge, if you're like phone, and this is a perfect example that because I have not been as organized as I am, my devices are constantly running out of battery. And what do you need to do when you need to have your devices, your electronic devices working at full power? You need to recharge them. So it's literally recharge. You need to plug in and recharge, remove yourself. This is obviously metaphorically speaking, but it's really key to do this. And until you start to create awareness around this and be really honest with yourself, then you're just going to keep doing the same thing and just be giving away your time and your energy and your love and your even maybe it could be money away to things and people and situations where it's not deserving. Even if you're a man, you, my darling, you deserve nothing but the best. I'm just going to add that in. So the other thing is what I sort of touched on in the points before. You've got to lean into a well-structured business vehicle, which allows you to actually create the income, the compounding commissions, the scalable income, that long-term legacy wealth that can set you up for life. I also saw another Instagram reel this morning. There's a certain percentage of people, they say they want to change and they want to make money, but then there's an even smaller amount of people that are actually doing something that's going to create that current reality for them. So of course, if you're following my channel, I'm aligned with a high ticket affiliate marketing business vehicle. I partner with a Japanese company. They are manufacturers of conscious health technology devices. It's the best water. Right now, this is not going to be an informational video about the actual product and company that I'm aligned with, but it is a business vehicle. It is a conscious model that creates long-term legacy wealth, long-term lasting financial fitness, time flexibility, and if you may, it does allow for you to be also location independent. However, if you're not leaning into and aligned with a way of earning an income, creating wealth for yourself in the long term, to really be able to afford you the crazy wild dreams and desires that you have, you can't just wish for the money to come out of nowhere. So it's really important that you are doing your business due diligence and seeking opportunities to be able to create that type of wealth by aligning with a very specific, well-structured business vehicle. I don't want to be just like randomly feeling like I'm floating and I'm here and I'm there and I'm like scattered and, oh, I'm aware of like I need to do this and that. Like really calling myself forward, getting my shit back together. Again, this has only been it's been less than 2 months. This is so funny. It's been just 6 weeks since I feel like I've been like this. I'm so grateful actually that the way that I'm made up, the type of person that I am, that when I feel, and it's not so much like, oh, I feel out of control, but when I feel not grounded and in flow, it's really when I'm not in my flow that I'm like, shit, what do I need to do? Because I don't like feeling not so much uncomfortable, because I actually believe that in order to grow, you need to actually, which is so evident of why I'm creating this video, it's so important to have these challenges in your life because they're the way for you to move forward and learn lessons from whatever you're experiencing in your challenges, your adversities, your struggles, the problems that you're having. They're actually there as beautiful signs, not from the universe, but they're there to significantly point out to you and show you that, okay, this is what's happening. If you're uncomfortable and unhappy and dissatisfied and you're feeling stagnant and like off and not in flow, then that is definitely your invitation to recalibrate, to reset, to recharge. Have that awareness that you really do want to be building and creating and living and then experiencing the lifestyle through a certain work style and embodying this amazing, magnificent self that you are. However, this requires strategy when it comes to your business life, your health. It's about also being really creative. There's not just one right way to do something and create success. It's about finding your own path, aligning with what you need to, but also creating your own style and finesse in creating that success and being very intentional with your actions, with your thoughts, with the business vehicle you may be aligned with, also maybe the people that you're surrounding yourself, really having that intentionality with your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and the things that are around you within your external world, and you align that with your internal world. It wouldn't be a YouTube video without the famous bikini. Bikini. Oh, did you want to say hello? Oh, no. How are you feeling? You want to say hi? How was your day today? You want to say hello to everybody? This is what we always do. Oh, look how pretty you are. Look at how pretty you are. You've probably eaten maybe 16 times today. Oh, go on, say hello. You want to share with everybody how you're recalibrating and recharging and resetting? Do you know how much I love you? Always. Every video. If you've been following my channel, yes, I have 5 ragdoll cats. I love them very much. I don't have real children. These are my children. They're my babies. They're my besties. We have G-Land in the back. Over here is Bommy, the background on the ground that you can't see. We have Thruster, and then Wax, who's the only boy. He's somewhere. Okay, so this is your invitation, really. If you resonate with anything that I have shared in this video, I want to make it really clear to you that it's not so much necessarily you joining me right now in like what I'm going through. I am sharing with you what I am going through. However, this really is your invitation to check in with you, to allow yourself to have your own personal life, work, money audit, health audit. And so here's some powerful questions that you can ask yourself, and whether this is you just, maybe answer these in your own head, or maybe you journal them out or write them on the notes section of your phone. Here's the first question. Are you actually building the life you desire, or are you just talking about it? Are you strategic with your time, money, and energy? Do you have mentorship, community, systems, real education? Are you investing in a business model that can scale? So I think these are really powerful questions, and they're good to really reflect on and journal them out. You could even have a discussion with whoever you want to discuss these with. If you would even like to answer them in the comments, please do. I would love to interact with you about what you answer to. And I definitely invite you to, if you desire, I do have a free course that does explain the actual specific business model that I'm involved with. It shares in full transparency, gives you a full understanding about my company that I partner with, the industry that we're in, how we specifically do sales and marketing. It breaks down the compensation structure. If you would like to discover that and explore that, please just reach out to me. I can send you the link for that. I also invite you to send me a DM, and I would love to connect with you and have a conversation. Again, whether this is in maybe just through a private DM, or we can even if you wish to, we can even meet on a Zoom call. But I really do want to create a closer connection with my community here, with the audience here, for those of you who are watching, as well as I invite you to explore the path that aligns with your lifestyle and wealth goals. And again, if you are unclear about, what your personal, professional, and financial goals are, please take some time. You can either watch the video that I created before, or, just allow yourself some time, get a piece of paper, your journal, the notes section of your phone, and write down what are your 1, 3, and 10-year goals. And you can break it into sections of your personal 1, 3, and 10-year goals, your professional 1, 3, and 10-year goals, and then your financial 1, 3, and 10-year goals. It's really, really powerful that you visually can see that. There's an element of when you get to audit, and there's an element of almost like shock factor when you're like, wow, I really see that. And it's like, well, do you really want that? And then it's a matter of like, okay, am I going to action that, or is it just going to be a piece of paper and I just leave that somewhere? But I find that it's actually really, really powerful to do that.